In today's video, I'm going to show you how to embed or display a module inside of a component on your Joomla site. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too, and thanks for tuning in to Watch Me Work live stream number 73 here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel. Now, that might give you a sense of deja vu, because last week I tried to show this, and at the very end, I ended up with a problem. I sorted out what it was. Something was broken on the one site that I was working on. So that's the danger of working on one of my old sites. But I think it's going to work today. So we will give it another try. Now, why would you want to put a module inside of, display a module inside of a Joomla component? One of the nice things about this, displaying a module in an article, and I have a Maintenance Monday live stream a couple of weeks ago, we saw how to put a module in an article. But is when you assign a module to a template position on your Joomla site, on the mobile version, when things get crunched together and a lot of the template positions get pushed down below, and maybe you want some information displayed right in the middle of your component. The other thing too is that if you have a component that shows a list of things, and that's what we're going to look at today, maybe it's a form that has a list of categories or topics or posts that people put in, or you have a list of articles in the table view for a category. That's what we'll look at today. You might want to put some information every 5 articles that's listed, or in the middle somewhere, and that's how we're going to see how to do that today. So let's just head on over. I'm just going to go this chunk by chunk. I think, like I said, everything should work today. Okay, so let's change to the computer screen here. Let's also let me, whoops, daisy. Let's also prop up the chat here. All right, if you're watching live, give the video a like. Don't be afraid to say hi in chat. Some already did. Bjorn and Imran already said hi even before I was on here, so that is great. Everybody head on over to basicjoomla.com/giveaways, sign up for the newsletter, and you'll be automatically entered into a draw for great Joomla prizes each month from these people here. All right, home. Here we go. This is the site that we're going to display a module inside of component on. It's one of my sites. We're going to go to entertainment, clean jokes, and you'll see here that we have a list of a category list of articles appearing in the category clean jokes, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What happens to my hand? I don't think anything happened to my hand. Unless, what are you referring to, Imran? Oh, I think I might know what you're referring to. All right, so we have a list of 10 articles here. Now, this is the content component, and we want to somehow put, let's put a module in here. One of the first things that we're going to need to do, and that you will need to do with your once you have the component that you want to put the module in, is we need to look in the code for something to replace. We're going to use an extension from Regular Labs called rereplacer. It looks for things, and when it finds them, it replaces them with other things. And so what we can do is we can have it look through the code that's generated by the component, the output, and when it sees something, it's going to put the module in there. Now, in this case here, I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to go to inspect. And then we are going to look for, as we expand the code here, we're going to look for something that repeats in this section. Now, right away, our eye is drawn to this TR class, this row class, table row class, category list dash row 0. And then there's a row 1, and then there's a row 0, then there's a row 1. So we know that this is code for these different rows here in the table. Now, what is the row 0 and row 1? Well, obviously they have different CSS applied to them, because the background on row 0 is white, and row 1 is shaded. So that's really good to know. Now, this is the output on the code here. So now that we know we're looking for list row, I'm going to do this. I'm going to right click and I'm going to view page source, or Control U will do that. Now I'm going to hit F3 and I'm going to search for ROW-0. And that's not what we're looking for. Let's just double check here. Expand this up a bit. Oh, there's no dash, right? Row 0. Okay. Now, you cannot see this, so just turn this off quickly. If I turn my webcam off, down the right-hand side, when you search on the page with the F3 here in the source code, you'll see there's some orange lines way down here in the bottom right. I wonder if they, yes, and we can actually put the scroller right down to where all of that appears. Here we have TR class list row 0, and then there's a row 0 here. We actually have 5 of them. All right, so what I'm going to do is select this code just as it appears, and we're going to copy that, and we're going to come back to this, but I've copied that. I've got it in the buffer. Now we will close this tab here, and let's close this jumble of things here. Right. By the way, this is a site I've neglected for a long time, so if you see errors and problems on it, don't judge me. I know you won't be judging me for being beautiful. Hello, Lucian. Properly pronounced Lucian, but he likes Lucian better, so we'll go with Lucian. All right, so next what we need to do is set up some things. Let's set up re-replacer so it will look for that code that we just found. Now, we're going to use 2 Regular Labs extensions today. One of them is re-replacer, and the other one is modules anywhere. You know, the easiest way to get your Regular Labs extensions is to go to Regular Labs and install their extension manager. And just download and install it. Or on your site, you can go to Extensions, Manage, and Install. Open that in a new tab. Install from web. We could just go Extensions Manager. Don't put a space in there. It'll search nicely all together. Extensions Manager. Maybe not in this case. And we will look for Regular Labs. Oh, I have Extensions Manager. There, that's why. We'll search there. Anyways, you will find it. Or you can just click on this link in the chat. You're very welcome for the help last time, Lucian. And you're coming back with a problem? Okay, well, we'll have to look at that at the end of the stream here. All right, so, man, Extension Manager. Let's take the space out. There we go. It did work. I just had the S in wrong. Install the Regular Labs Extension Manager, and what you will get is this. Go to Components, Extension Manager, and you will have a list of all of the components that are available from Regular Labs. Now, I have a pro membership, but you can get the free ones here. And basically, you just go to what you want and click on Install, and it'll be on there. So I have already installed re-replacer here, and modules anywhere is installed as well. Okay, so now in the back end of our site, we can first of all go to re-replacer, and we will set up an item that is going to be looking for what we want to switch. Now, I will click New, and I'm just going to call this Embed Module in Component. All right. Now, we are going to use regular expressions for doing searching on that page, and I'm going to show you what we're going to use and talk a bit about that. So I'm going to click Yes on regular extensions here, and we want the Use New Line Modifier check green. That's good. Now, what we want to do, again, remember, is we want to go through this web page and in the code for this web page and search for row 0, that code that we copied, and that long code that the tag that we copied. And we want to tell rereplacer when it sees it to replace it with something. And what we're going to do is replace it with a module position. But the regex is very interesting how we do this. And for that, let me just bring up another page that I have open here. All right. Just do this here. All right. So this is the regex that we're going to use here. And this is just the a little note to myself here, that plain replacer. All right. Starting, and I don't fully understand regex, so I may I can't explain everything what's going on here, but basically this regex is looking ahead. When a page is loaded, web page is loaded, it looks ahead at all of the code and it does whatever you tell it to do. And in this case, it's counting, looking for something, all right? And it's looking for something that occurs 3 times. And after the 3rd time, here in rereplacer, when we put that code here, after the 3rd time, it's going to replace what was found with something else. It's going to put it in there. All right. Now we're using regular expressions. So what will happen is this. It's going. First of all, let's put our code in here. Just that something. All right. And I'm going to bring up our code. And it was this one right here. All right. So this looks for, look ahead on the load. Look for the 3rd time that this code right here occurs. And after the 3rd time, then do something and replace. Now, when a regex looks ahead, it sees 2 parts. Well, in this case, it sees 2 parts because it's only looking ahead for one thing. And so, in order to redraw the page, we need the first part there. Then we also need to show the part that's after. And then in the middle, we want to put what it needs to replace. Now we want to replace, and let me just again check my notes over here on this on another screen here, just so I don't get this wrong. We want to replace with a column span. Now we want to replace something that makes sense on that site. And I have that right here, and I will show you why I'm using this. All right, as we get started here. All right, we want to replace some code. Now, I've done this ahead of time. This is the trickiest part of setting this up, because when we view the source code here, and maybe we should do that again, view the source code and go F3. When we're going to insert something after this 3rd point, all right? So this is actually not even going to get replaced, but it's going to say, all right, here's part 1, all of this code beforehand, and it's going to go down and count. So 1, 2, 3. Now immediately after this 3rd find, right after this little closing bracket, this closing brace, it's going to put in whatever we tell it to replace. And I know from experience, I want it to put in a TD column span of 3 across. And I just have all these G's in here for examples and closing it. So we're just going to take this information here and put it in our rereplacer item. So we're telling it, first of all, to look ahead and count for bracket tr class equals cat list row 0, that code that we copied. And then when it sees it 3 times, we want it to put what comes before that. Then we want to put another row, and then a row, and then we have this cell that goes across 3 columns, all these G's, and then we're going to close that row, And then we want to put /2. I think I have the slashes in the proper way. Okay, so now let's go and save this. If I've done this right, when we go back to the list of our articles here, we can go refresh. And the G should show up. Now, the G did show up, but look it up here. It's gibbled something. I've broken the table here. But that's all right. That's progress. All right, so now what is the mistake that I have made? Let's see here. Let's go back into re-replacer, and let's go to all right. First of all, I'm going to just unpublish this. And I'm going to look to see what my working example was from last week, if I actually did that properly last week. No, that's the same thing that I had there. All right, so the trick that we need to do then is I'm going to publish this again. Well, I have a page here. Let's right click and view page source. Now I've got all those G's there. I can look to see what's going on. I'm going to F3. I'm going to G. Yes, sirree. Okay. What did the... Oh, maybe it's the /2. Let me double check that. Oh, yes, that's what I've done wrong. I'm sorry. I am sorry. It's not a / it's a \. \1 and \2. It was 50-50, so of course I was going to choose the wrong way. Oh, and then we need to publish that. All right. That's what you get when we do this on a Watch Me Work live stream. Even when I know what I'm doing, I make mistakes. All right, now let's refresh. And we will see, as we scroll down, look at this. There is our G appearing in a row. And it's row 0 after 3. So let's count the white rows. 1, 2, 3. So what this regex has done is it's looked ahead and looked for this code. And after it occurs 3 times, it puts the first part, everything that comes before the third time, in, then puts in what we want, and then draws the rest of the page at the end. Now, that's great if you want G to appear in your row, but we want to put a module there. And so that takes us on to the next step of what we're going to do. Let's go back into the back end of that site, all right, and go to extensions and modules. Now, the first thing that we want to do here is create a module position that we're going to keep track of, that we can assign modules to. And to do that, I'm going to create a new module. I'm going to go down to custom. And I'm going to name this category list module position holder. All right. I'm not going to show the title. And I'm actually just going to hide it. All right. Now, but I do want to create a position, a module position. And to do that, you just simply type into the position here the name of it. So let's call this cat list mod display. I may regret making it so long, but all right. So we're gonna copy that. Now, when I hit enter, and then I save this module, that position exists on my site now, that module position. Now, of course, we just typed in the name. It doesn't actually exist anywhere in the code. So this module is never going to display anywhere. But the reason that I make this module sort of a burner here, because if I ever delete, if I create other modules now and assign them to that position, but I delete them, if there is no module assigned to a custom module position, it just disappears. And then you'd have to go back in your code and figure out to make that module position exist again. You'd have to rename it, and which would not be too hard to do, but why confuse yourself that way? Because we're actually not putting any module position in the code. We're re-replacing code and putting it in on the fly using re-replacer. So we have this cat list mod display. All right, now the next thing that we can do is, having already installed modules anywhere, we can now get some code to display this module. Now down at the bottom of the screen here, this is JCE Editor Pro. On your default Joomla editor, this button would be up at the top somewhere. When you see module, click on module. In Advanced Module Manager, now we can get code to insert a module somewhere. And we're going to search here by the module position that we just created. I think it's going to show up. Not yet, probably because I need to save this and refresh the page. Either that, or maybe it's because the position is unpublished. All right, let's just see here. Module. Let's search for display. No, I wonder if it's because this is unpublished. Let's publish this. And save this. Okay. Now, let's go back down to module here and display. Okay. A new thing. Position. Can I miss module? All right. Let's hold on for just a second here. Let's not panic. Okay, let's search for all of them that exist. Oh, maybe it's searching by the, search in module title and note. All right, that's what's wrong here. We're going to search for holder. Okay. Holder. Holder. All right. And now we'll search. There we go. Category list module position holder. Now we need the code to insert it as the module position. So I'm going to click on this button here. You can get it for the ID if you want to just show a module, or you can do it by title, but I want this module position. So when I click on that, I get this code here, module pos. Hey everybody, thanks for helping Lucian out there in chat. That's great. All right, so we take this code for this module position, and in fact, we're just going to go and unpublish this, and we'll save this. Now we're going to go back to our re-replacer item, and instead of G's, we're going to put the code for that module position using modules anywhere. And when we save that, now, I expect that when we go back to this page and refresh, this GGG will disappear. There'll be here, and there is nothing there. For those of you watching this, I just cut out a whole section where something wasn't working and got lost. But anyways, so we have the module position assigned in the re-replacer, the one that we just created, but there's no modules assigned to it because over here, this one is unpublished. But that's okay because we've got this purely for holding the module position. Now what we can do is we can create another module and assign it to this module position that occurs because of re-replacer. I'm so happy this is working again now. And of course, and again, you're missing out on what, you missed a whole bunch of a mess here. All right, so let's make another module. Let's close this. What do we want to put inside this module position? I'm just going to put some text here. We'll go new module, custom. Let's say that this could be an add. This is an add. Whoops. All right, we'll give it a title. This is an ad. But we don't want that to show on the page. So we hide the title. But let's just say, put your ad code here. All right. And in fact, maybe you're putting an ad on there. You have a link. You've made a banner ad and you have a link to something. So let's just quickly put an image here. Let's see. Here's a nice picture of someone eating. Let's put some chocolate cake on there because it's going well. All right. Okay, so all of this, Imran, if you're asking about re-replacer and modules anywhere, this is all available in the free version. Okay, there are some things that we can do with the pro version. We'll get into that in a bit, but this is all free. So let's center that picture. Let's put this by this cake, and of course you know how this works here. Let's go here. We'll center this. We could make this a hot link, blah, 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 blah. But what's key is we now have a module position that we can assign this to that occurs because in re-replacer, it counts category list row 0 3 times and puts in the module position category list mod display. Okay. Now, Imran, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about PayPal not working in Bangladesh, but maybe I'm missing something you're talking about. All right, so module, we'll just call this display. We're going to search for the module position display, and we'll type in here DISP, display. Now, the title is hidden. This is published. It's assigned to this module position, but that exists nowhere unless it's being re-replaced. So we don't even need to worry about assignments, I don't think. All right, so now let's go back here. And if I've done that right, we'll expect to see our ad show up there. Buy this cake. And there you have it. You're displaying a module inside of a Joomla component. And because we've used modules anywhere to display the module's position, look what else we can do. Let's say in the middle of that, in the middle of this page, you want to have some other things. Now this would get sort of get too long, but re-replacer. Okay, let's go back to our list of modules. Close. And now let's find a module of type ACE. Let's say we want. This module here. Sign up for free CyberSalt today. On the top of this page is this banner here. Sign up for free CyberSalt today. And actually, I have already made. Sorry. Oh, too many tabs open. This is a copy that I made last week. Sign up for free CyberSalt today. So let's just delete this. All right, now we're going to search for sign. All right. So you see, sign up for free CyberSalt today. It is assigned to the position sign up CyberSalt. It's a custom position I've made and I've named for this spot here. But I want to put this module somewhere else. Now I don't want to, because this is assigned to that module position up there, what I'm going to do down here is this module manager. I'm going to click this. I'm going to open it up. Actually, open it up. Sign up for free CyberSalt today. Mid component. Type this here. Mid component. Now, I'm making a note to myself there, but what I could actually do is just put in description. I'm going to save as a copy. All right. And when you do save as a copy, your copy will be renamed and you're automatically unpublished. And oh, look at that. I typed mid down there in the bottom somehow. All right. So we'll clear that up. And now, so that's great because that didn't automatically show up in the site. But let's put in our new code, which I cannot remember. It has the word display in it. D-I-S-P-L, wait, display. All right, category modulus display. Now we'll publish this. We'll save this. And the cool thing here is when we refresh this page, we've got buy this cake, a picture, and sign up for free CyberSalt. Now the way this works is, let's say you say, oh, but I wanted this above there. Well, because we've created sort of this virtual module position that we can display in this component here, we can actually go to the module manager, close. All right. Let's just clear this out. I see they're both listed there, but let's search by the module position, display. Now over here we can sort by order, and we'll see here that this is an ad appears above sign up for free CyberSalt. Now notice here is our module, category list module position holder. It is just existing unpublished so that this position always exists. If I were to delete all three of these, this custom module position would disappear, and I'd have to go figure out what it is again inside of my re-replacer. So let's not delete that at all. But what I do want to do is I want this module above. So we'll bump it up. We'll clean the cache. We'll go back and we will go refresh. And now it appears at the top. So there's some other things that we're going to be doing now. Let's suppose that we want it to had a longer list. We want to display this module a couple times. Yes, Imran, you take care of yourself because you've got that huge cyclone coming towards you. So, yeah, I see you there in chat. If you have to sign out, you have to sign out. God bless you and keep you safe and your family in that storm. All right, so now let's go to a longer list. Oh, let's say we've got, here we're seeing 10 pages at 10 articles at a time. Let's change that to 100 articles. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, and then our module position. But then we have a whole bunch more. And wouldn't it be nice to have some more ads down there? No problem. All we have to do is this. Let's go to re-replacer. And I'm going to now call this embed module component after 3 rows. Okay, so let's just save that. Now let's save this as a copy, and let's go after 20 rows. And we'll save as a copy. Now, we have this new re-replacer item, and it's going to count, well, it's still counting 3 rows, so let's change 3 to 20. All right. But also, it's going to display the category list module display position again. Well, let's see if that works. We'll publish this. We'll go into clean jokes. We'll refresh this page. Yes. Hopefully it'll still give us a long list. Yes, and look at that. Now we've got 1, 2, 3 white lines, and it appears. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know the drill. We go down, counts 20, or whatever number we put in, and there's those modules again. But let's suppose that we don't want the same thing all the way down. Maybe we just want sign up for free CyberSalt here, and then we'll put the buy this cake ad farther down. So we can go here, and let's make a new module position. Module position cat list mod display. I'm going to put dash lower. See you later, Imran. Now, I've actually changed the code for what module position is being displayed here, and I put dash lower on it. All right. Now, of course, there is no such module position yet. I haven't created it. And so, in fact, we could expect to see when we refresh here, we will see a blank line as we expect. That's all right, though, because we're going to go into the Advanced Module Manager to This is an Add, and I'm going to create a module position called where is it? Display. Did I call it lower? I did call it lower. Mod display. So Control V. Down here, display dash lower. I hit enter. I go save. Now I've changed the module position of this. So what we expect to see here is that the cake add will disappear, and it's going to appear down here in the module position where we changed the code. And there you have it. We have 1, 2, 3 white lines. We display the module there. We scroll down a whole bunch, and there's the other module position. Now, just to show you, and we'll do this as an experiment, remember, let's close. Module positions with the word display in them. All right, so we have this one here. Let's look at DIS. Module display lower is that position we just created, and that exists. If we select this module and we send it back to the original position, display, that one there, and we save, okay, we'll close that. Let's see what happens if we make a new module and try to assign it to the module position that no modules are assigned to now. Go custom. I'm going to type display, and I'm right. That custom module position that we created for lower down now no longer exists in Joomla's mind because there are no modules assigned to it. If this were something that were set up and hard-coded in a template, it would. But because when you create a custom one on the fly, you need to have a module to hold it in place. That's why in this case, in the modules here, let me just go. In this case here, that's why I have this empty module that's unpublished that's just holding this position. Because I was right in what I thought. If you create a custom module position and you remove all the modules assigned to it, it disappears and would be a pain. It'd just be unnecessary. You'd have to go and say, oh, what was that I named for farther down? It would be it's this one here. Oh, and then you go and you would create that custom position. All right, let's see something here. Copy. All right, so let's put that module position back in for that module. That's one here. This is an add. We'll put that back in here. Control V. Control V, and we'll hit enter, and we'll save. Now I'm going to show you something really cool about the regex that you can do with this. Let's go back to this page. All right, so that's displaying again. See, we counted 1, 2, 3 white rows, and then we put in this add, and it looks all right. And that looks fine basically with having on a 10-page count. In fact, it's maybe, look, we got 1, 2, 3, and then we have 1, 2, 3. So that's not too bad. But look what happens if someone were to select 5. You get 1, 2, 3. Then you get 5 articles. Then you get the ad. And then you get this one lone one under here. So wouldn't it be nice if we could say, don't display this module there if there's not more than a few counts of this white line afterwards. And you can do that. And to do that, you just add a little bit more regex to our code. So let's go to re-replacer. And then we're going to close this one. Now on my notes here, I'm going to go over and I'm going to grab this here. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to add here. Okay, so here is the regex that we used, looking for the third occurrence of cat list row. Now, if we add some more regex to this line, this one here, and I'm going to take this code here, okay, because this counts paragraph marks. All right. What this regex does here is this. Look ahead and count these rows 3 times. When you see this code here 3 times, do the replacing down here. But this also looks ahead and says only do it if there are still 4 list rows afterwards. And if there are not 4 rows afterwards, don't bother doing this. All right? Don't bother. It wouldn't be true. Show you how this works. Copy this. And I'll go back to our re-replacer list. Let's sort by ID here. Got one's at the top here. In K. Embed module with component after 3 rows. That's one we want. All right, let's put this code in here. So tr class list row 3. Okay, so if this exists 3 times, and there's at least 4 after that point towards the end, then do this replacing. When we go and view this, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 rows, yes, but there are no more rows after. So we'll refresh, and that is going to disappear because there's not enough rows after for it. But watch this. If we go 5 and say 10 pages there, we scroll down. Oh, it didn't show up because look, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it gets inserted. 1, 2, 3. Ah, not enough. All right. So let's see, 15. Oh, and it does get put in because there's more than 4 white rows at the end here, or there's 4 white rows at the end. Now, so this is a little bit wonky. I want it to show up on the 10. So what have we got here? Doesn't show up on the 10. Let's go to the 5 and look here. We have 1, because this row counts as 1, because it's white background. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then on the row of 10, we have 1, 2, 3. It would go in there. 1, 2, 3. So we do want it if there's 3. Let's go back in here and say 3. All right. Save. And now we're also going to take a look now at something, and this comes with the pro version of re-replacer, how to assign this re-replacing only to certain parts of your site. All right, so next I need to do, all right, so we changed that. Let's go back to the page. I think the ad will show up now because there's 3 white lines after. No, there's not. Okay, let's try this then. Maybe I did, maybe there's not 3 on there. Let's go with 2 afterwards. Now we're fresh. Ah, there you go. It shows up. So, what did our code say here? If this row exists 3 times, oh, maybe this is greater than. I can't quite see it. 3 times, then 1, 2. Well, were 3 white lines, so it had to be more than that. But that worked. So the code was here: if this exists 3 times, and there's at least 2 of them afterwards, or there's more than 2 afterwards, I guess the way it works out, then go ahead and put that code in. Because when we change it to 3, it doesn't work because we have 1, 2, 3. Anyways, just something to help you balance out how things appear on your site in those situations. Another example of that for regular labs is that I use on my site is this particular blog here, just as a little diversion. This is James Snyder's blog. I have it set so that it counts the number of paragraph marks. Whoops. That happened the last time I misclicked on something. All right. Here we go. Oh, I know why. It's because I'm clicking on unpublished modules, unpublished articles. Let's go down to this article here. Because I'm logged into the front end, because I'm using JD Woolerton admin bar. This is regex used in rereplacer. It counts 8 paragraph marks in the article, and it puts in this ad. And then it counts 20, and it puts in the ad if there is still 4 paragraph marks at the end, because I don't want this ad messing up this footer here that gets put in at the end. That's another, I do that with rereplacer as well. So that's just an example of a really nice way in rereplacer to pick when and when not an ad will be put in based on how much formatting you have on there. Now, this is showing up on my clean jokes list here. If I go to Christmas jokes, which has 75, it also does the same thing. Now this is showing a whole long list. Now let's say that I want to have something unique on the Christmas jokes page. What I would do is I would create its own rereplacer, and I would embed module after 3 rows. Christmas page, Christmas jokes, just doing this. These are all crazy names, but we'll save as a copy. Then what I would do is I would make a module position, mod display, Christmas jokes, right? You know, just as we have Christmas jokes, category list, Christmas jokes, and then we would go copy. And I would save this. All right, I'm copying that position. I go save and close. And I go to advanced module position. And I would go to what I want on the Christmas page, which would be, all right, so let's open this up. We will change the module position that it's assigned to. Hit enter. I'm going to type something else here. And mid component. Boy, I've got that mod display. Free cyber salt, Christmas jokes. Right. And so now I'm going to save as a copy. I will publish that. Okay. And now on the Christmas jokes page, well, I expect I'm going to see two things here. Yeah, there's something else, but I'm still getting this module that I don't want to be on the Christmas page. And that's where we can go in regular Labs re-replacer in the Pro version. And we can go to this enable module and component after 3 rows, all right, which basically is what is showing this module here. And we can go publishing assignments, and we can say that we only want to see it on one particular page. One particular URL is easy to do, so let's just do, we only want to see it, whoops, confirm. We only want to see it on this URL right here. Okay. So we will search for URL. We'll include it only on this URL. All right. And we'll go matching method. Has to be all. We'll save. Now, if I've done this right, when I refresh here, the ad will still show. Oh, something else shows up. Oh, did I assign the wrong re-replacer? Something else is showing up there. If I go to Christmas jokes, I think that is going to show up then. I've done something wrong. No. All right, let's just go back and check what I did wrong. Maybe matching method I need to, oh. I'm not using regex. Let's, is it matching method any? Will be published if any, one or more. All right. That might be what I've done wrong. Instead of all, match many. Let's refresh. It won't show up here, but this URL here, it should show up. Ah, my goodness. Let's just make this here. I don't know if you guys have ever had a visual migraine. I get them. It's from if I see a bright light and I look at dark. It happens very seldom. I'm actually having one right now, which means I don't have any pain, but it throws my concentration off, and it also puts this sparkly horseshoe of prismy, rainbowy light, and it spreads out across my field of vision, and I'm actually having one right now. So in a little while it'll be better, but I actually have to read off to the side of what I'm seeing on the screen here. So let's see. Bjorn says not include. So let's see here. I want it to show up on this page that has entertainment clean jokes. If I exclude it, it means it won't be included. And I want this 3-row one to show up only on clean jokes. All right. I'll try that though, but I don't think that that's what I want to happen here. Oh, there it is. It is showing up. So what am I missing here, Bjorn? I said embed module and component after 3 rows. Yes, that's what we're doing here. I want it to embed, but I want it to do it. See, this is exclude it from URLs that I want to tell it to go on the clean jokes page, not exclude it from this. If we go down here, let's just right click to Christmas jokes here. See, it's showing up to, maybe this is not what I want to do. Maybe it's not the URL. Let's try this. Let's ignore this. Include. All right. So maybe I want to assign this to exclude means include. Can't. That's how it's working, but something else. Exclude can't mean include, but I get. Yeah, I think I know what you're saying. Let's see. Let's go include in categories. Let's search up here for jokes. We'll include it in clean jokes. There we go. And now so I only want that to occur in the category clean jokes, but not Christmas jokes. Now the nice thing here is that this is not going to show up in any article. Oh, it's actually only looking in categories, page types categories. That's fine. But of course the row 0 that we're looking for is so unique. If it doesn't show up other places on the site, then it's not even a factor. All right, so let's include it in the clean jokes thing there. All right, so now we will refresh. And it doesn't show up in Christmas jokes. Please show up here. Yes. All right. And so this something else replacer, now that we know the method to use, embed, here's the Christmas joke one. So we'll go into there. Then we'll go to publishing assignments, and then we'll go down to categories, and we'll include this. Let's see, Christmas jokes only, and we don't want it in articles, and we don't want it on child items. So we could assign this to a whole category in child items here for category. So we have lots of options here, but we'll save that. And we will refresh. Now something else shows there, but here something else disappears. And we have, after some turbulence, landed safely. So, I think the biggest challenge for this is finding the code to replace and getting things to line up nicely. Because what I did was here, I'll just show you very quickly. Let's close this. Let's go into embed module and component after 3 rows. Now what I'm replacing here, if I just take this column span 3 out and just make this a row and go save, and we go refresh, you'll notice you can't really tell, but this cell is actually not going right across. It's not getting right underneath the hits and the edit article because I'm logged into the front end of the site. This is not such a big disaster because it still looks fine, but if you had if you wanted to put an image in there that was even longer or wider, or you wanted to go right across the table underneath hits, it would be messed up. So the trick is finding the code that you want to refresh, to replace. And we will put that back in, I believe it was in there, Control V, yes. All right. I will paste the codes in chat right now, and I also, if these are available, I will put them in the video description. But here's the code. Here, I'll tell you what. Let me give you this code. All right. So this all right. So this code here in chat, that's the code for finding something and counting 3 times. All right. So if I move the chat just over here, finding, well, actually, I'll move this over here. All right. So this code finds something 3 times. That's the regex. This code here, which I will paste next, finds something 4 times at the end. And actually, as you can see, it's just the same, almost the same code here, except this little mark here, this up sign, what is that? Oh, it's a caret. It says count from the beginning. This, otherwise, it looks for things at the end. So you want, it's the same code without the caret. All right. Now, slightly trickier is this. This is the let's see. All right. So this is the code for the row 1. But the caveat to that is this. That's the code for doing it on this particular template that I have. If a different template does not have these alternating lines, you're going to have to find out what the lines are. And so it may very well be that this is just, that the code for this might be something like, let's see, instead of, let's see, row 0, it might be tr class list article row, and you might have, there might not be row 0 and row 1, in which case you'll have 10 article rows. So you're just going to search for that, and instead of looking for 3, maybe you're going to look for 5 to get to the middle. Yes, so there is that. Now, do I have anything else that I should paste in there? Let's see here. No. Well, you can see the basic structure of the of what you're replacing. The big thing, I don't know if this will paste all these lines. Let's just see. There they all are on one line, which is the same thing. All right, so I think that covers it all. I have a little bit of editing to do to take out that broken part. Thank you for your patience, but we did get it working there. And that means the chat is going to disappear from when I edit this. The chat will no longer appear live. No worries though, because just very quickly, just in case there's anything that we missed here. Oh, I can't scroll back up on the chat here, so there's just some chatting happening in there. Thank you, everybody. And yes, there was a link put in chat there to join the Slack group. That was great. Thank you, Mary, for posting that. Thank you, everybody, for your suggestions and for your help. Yeah, so I cannot see. Oh, I can see sort of my hand off to the side here. I cannot see. That's where the curly colored things are. You want to see a bit of what I see when that happens. When that happens, let's just go full screen. No. Chat on right. No, right computer screen. Watch this. I'm going to search for this. Visual migraine. And images. The one that is closest to what I get is this. Mine are not as sharp and as black like that. Mine are not blurry like this. Mine are actually a lot prettier than this one. But let's see. Here's an animation that's on YouTube. Visual migraines. They sort of start out a little bit. I notice I'm getting them even before I can see anything because my concentration just gets distracted. It's like there's something there. Mine does not always start in the center of vision. But anyways, it's sort of, mine is more like a complete horseshoe. Basic Joomla, I think that he's Basic Joomla. I will publish these. Yeah, I'll put this video on today, which is great because I have a guy that I want to do some work and add some things. It's not. This is not. And anyway, so let me just say, my visual migraines are not sharp and ugly like that. Mine are a lot prettier. I don't get this black in there, and it's not sharp. It's almost like, you know what I compare it to? It's almost like a kaleidoscope. If, you know, when you look in a kaleidoscope and then you turn the tube and the picture and things kind of change. It's a bit like that. Yes. Have I had it my whole life? No, the first one I got was back in. Let me just change the screen here. What am I changing here? Oh yeah, channel right. The first visual migraine I got was probably about 10 years ago. And I had it, it was a Wednesday night. I had come back from the church. I came and I sat down at my desk. It was before the walls were orange and anything. But sat down at my desk. I woke up the computer with my two big monitors here. They came on bright white and the room was very dim. And then the next thing I knew, I had this sparkly thing happening. And it's like, well, that was really weird. So it went away after a while, and I thought, oh, whatever. And then I realized, I don't know what that is. I should probably get that checked out. And so one of the elders at my church what he still is, an optometrist. So I described it to him a couple days later, because I was driving. I thought, I really should get that checked out in case it was a stroke or something. So I went to him, and I described it. He says, oh, I know what that is, but let me check you out. So he looked at everything and told me it was the visual migraine. And so some people get them if they eat a certain food. Some people get them, I forget what the other reasons are, but other people get them from a bright light or a certain changing of light. So that's how I get them. And I think what happened was I was looking at the screen. I must have looked up or something triggered it. And anyways, it happens. I've had them happen when I was driving. There was a car that turned in front of us and its headlights swept us. So it was dark and then bright and then dark. And so I had one come on. So I pulled over and I let Susan drive because it's very interesting. It's your attention gets drawn away. So it's not only is what you see, but there's something also going on in your brain where you just get distracted easily. And even if you're trying to concentrate, it doesn't happen sometimes. So not a good time to be driving. I had one when I was at the Chamber of Commerce. I came out of the dark building and there's sunlight I was sitting in the room. Sunlight was coming in the window behind, so the room was kind of dark. So when I look at people at the end of the table in the dark part, I could talk to them. And then when I look at someone that was backlit by the sunlight, it was suddenly bright. And so I know to watch in rooms, oh, there's a dark light. Oh, there's a dark area and there's a bright light. Oh, I have to be careful. The other thing too is that if you've ever been working, if you were ever here when I was working, now when I come and I wake up my computer, I close my eyes and look down for the screen to come on bright. so I don't see that. And then when it comes on, I open them very slowly, and then it's no problem. And I probably haven't had one maybe for about 2 months. And I can go months and months and months without them. But anyways, yes, Ivor, too much cheese. No, I did not have any cheese today. I don't know why, because this is my normal working environment, but it happened. And it might be because I haven't eaten. I don't know. But for me, it's the light. A bright light to a dark light to a bright light, and it sets them off. And normally I just go sit down for 15 minutes because there's really not much else to do. Although I can work around things. Yeah, too little cheese, it might be. Cheese, cheese, cheese. Speaking of which, I've not had breakfast yet. All right, everybody. Well, we got that in finally with a few hiccups along the way, but now you know how to install how to display a module inside of a component, a Joomla component. This works not only in that category list of articles, it works great on Kunina Forum for putting ads in between. You can already do that with messages, but you can do it with categories, and you can also do it with topics as well. All right. Yes. What else am I forgetting? Is there anything else that we should do here? No. Okay. All right. I'm going to, let's see, just because Zoom call. Let's do one more of those. I think we're kind of getting a little bit out of lockdowns in a lot of places, but Calendly, let me get the link for that too. And let's see, we'll go here and we'll copy that. If you want to get in on tomorrow's Zoom call at 1700 UTC, go ahead, click on that link. We'll have a little visit, and we will see what else there is. We'll just catch up. It's just a time to talk. We'll do one more at least. I may stop doing them after that. They were mostly designed while we were all stuck and locked in our houses, and it looks like a lot of people are outish and about, but we'll see. Anyways, so tomorrow, that's 10 o'clock my time, 1 o'clock Chuck time. Oh, Chuck's not in the east. That's 12 o'clock Chuck time. It's 1700 UTC. Anyways, everybody, thanks for tuning in today. Thanks, like I said, for your patience. I'm super glad that this worked out. Oh, Chuck, you're right. You're an EST. I keep forgetting that. I keep thinking that Ohio's mid. But anyways, we will check up. We'll check in. Anyways, till the next time. Enjoy your Joomla sites. And God bless.